Well, Wado, thanks for joining us, mate. 2 games back and you're in Origin. How good is it?
Yeah, thanks, Block. It's good to be back. It probably came around a lot sooner than I could have hoped, but very fortunate. The cards fell my way this time, and I'm excited to be back in this arena.
Mate, tell us about the knee. 9 months off with the ACL. Probably what you don't want to hear.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It's probably it has been the biggest injury of my career. It's probably the 3 letters you don't want to hear as a rugby league player is your ACL, but unfortunately that's just the way the game goes sometime. Struck down in that semi-final, and 9 months later, here I am.
Mate, you got to look at it in a good way. You had your son, William, so that pepped you up a little bit after the injury?
Yeah, it was good. It was actually, the silver lining was I got to spend more time at home. William was almost 2 months by that stage, so got to spend some quality time at home. Although, if you ask my partner, she might say she had 2 babies at home at the time, but it definitely worked out. Our first child, so, the struggles of new parents, and I was always around the house to help out or, just to be there for her.
Mate, take us back to the injury. I know I can speak on experience because I had the same thing. A few times you never think it's going to get better and you have those dark moments. Did you have those sort of things?
I think for me it was just about remaining patient. It is a long rehab process, and you're right, the knee does feel different, and it does take a while to get back to being able to run and things you just take for granted, get out on the field and move around like you normally would. And, we had to rebuild all that knee up from the start.
What about after the knee's done after 9 months, you make your comeback, you go out on the ground, scar tissue, I know from experience, you hit a bit of a pothole and you think you've done it again. What's happened? Did you have that?
Yeah, definitely. So I had 2, obviously the struggles with the hamstring, because it was a hamstring graft. When that first starts to heal, you feel the little tears in the hemi and the scar tissue through that. And then in one of my contact sessions back, I got hit around the knees and I just felt a bit of the scar tissue click. And straight away I knew it wasn't serious, but it was those little bumps and bruises along the way that, it helps you regain your confidence. And it was a long process, but each little step, each little bump, each little milestone, I knew that it was just, one step closer to being back playing.
What about your mindset? I don't know about you, but I still remember how to play when you've had that long a layoff.
Well, that was the biggest thing for me. The game against Parramatta when I came back, I was more anxious just to get back out there and play. Obviously, being away for so long, the last couple of months, everyone you see around in football who knows you're involved in football is, oh, Wade, when are you back? And you can only really answer, I'm doing my rehab, I'm training as hard as I can. I'll be back when the time's right. So just leading into that first game back against Para, I was just really anxious to get back out there and to see how I felt. Obviously my timing was a little bit out in a few areas, but it's just so good to be back out there.
Now, you're a great competitor, I know about that. My favourite thing on the weekend was you up against John Bateman. Is there a little bit of history there? Because you guys went for it for 80 minutes. And did that help you? Oh,
definitely. I couldn't ask for a better game, really, to lead into an Origin game, especially coming off the length of time off I had. Canberra, they were really physical, led by Johnny Bateman there on the right. And, the contest on Thursday night against Canberra really ironed out a few creases physically for me. And I'm feeling good now heading into Sunday.
Mate, coming off the bench, who will you think of on Sunday? There's a big lead up into the game. The game's on at 6 o'clock at night. You've got all day to get ready. What goes through your head during the day? For me, it's just about being patient and being calm. Obviously, I'm in a role where I could fill in for a number of positions. I learned a lot about myself during that World Cup year when I played number 14 in all 6 games for Australia. And sometimes I played 5'8", sometimes I came on and played in the centres, left edge, right edge, and of course in the middle. So I'm fortunate that I have that opportunity to be able to cover so many positions, and I just love playing footy, and whatever my role is, I'm happy just to get out there and just play. And I'm really grateful that I'm back in this arena, and I can't wait for Sunday. Now, you've won the comp. Tell me about the burning ambition to win a State of Origin series. You've done everything else in the game. Well, it's definitely right on top of my list. As I said earlier, to be honest, after the layoff I had, I'd probably put a line through Origin for this season. And I was really just supporting the boys
off the back of last year's series when they brought the Shield back to New South Wales. As a Blues supporter, disappointment that I missed out as a player, but obviously super proud of the boys for bringing the trophy back. And I thought I'd be a spectator again this year, to be honest, and to be back in this arena, going into a game where we're 1-0 down, massive game on Sunday, opportunity for us to keep the series alive and really back up what the boys did last year and try and regain the trophy. I'm just happy to be here, and I really want to make sure that we give ourselves the best chance to get the job done on Sunday and take the series still alive back to Sydney.
I know it's only early in the camp. Brad Fittler giving you any instructions on what he expects?
There's been a little bit of chat, but it's pretty much along the lines that I alluded to before. Just be ready for anything, any position, any situation within the game. And I'm excited. I'm excited to get out there and play some footy.
Anyway, mate, thanks for joining us, mate, on League Life. It's been our pleasure, or my pleasure anyway, to talk to you, mate, and wish you well on the weekend.
Thanks, Mark. It's good to be back, mate.
Good on you, bud.